Wally Show, Aftercast, all the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. And it is actually a normal show today, ish. It's normal as it can be, given the whole world that we're living in right now. This is your after Corona cast, or after quarantine cast. But we have Becca from a couch, and we're also Facebook Living this. So if you want to check us out and see what Becca's couch looks like, it's lovely.
Yes.
You can, at one point today, she was laying down during the show. I'm like, you have to stop that. Because Betty Rock
like
and I.
She was rubbing it in.
Yeah, like Betty and I are still in the studio, and Gavin is here too, but I think that's even going to change throughout the week.
Okay, I can't see Betty. Has she at any point today used my chair to kick her legs up?
No, absolutely not.
No, but I do have a problem with my knees. Sometimes it's nice to just,
I have a problem with my knees.
Yeah. So you guys, everyone's laying down. Yeah. So, I figured if it's good enough for Kelly and Ryan, and if it's good enough for Jimmy Fallon, then it's good enough for us to work remotely and figure this whole thing out. Which I will say, Phil, our engineer, normally when something breaks, we go, Phil! And Phil comes running and he fixes it. He has been on point with this stuff today. So the fact that this is remotely seamless and that the show was seamless today, and the fact that Kelly and Ryan, who have millions of dollars at their disposal and have all these technical people and all of this stuff, their audio is horrible for the show. And Phil knocked it out of the park. So standing up to props to Phil. Thank you, buddy.
Yay for Phil.
Normally I hate podcasts where they're like, and our intern is, and our podcast person is, and our producers. I hate all that. But Phil actually provided a service that was really good. So thank you. With that, we're going to talk a little bit about quarantine and stuff too today. You can comment as well, since we are Facebook Living. We had people still calling the show today, which was great. I did not know what to expect. I've been gone for a week. And so when I came back, Betty, Becca, and Gavin had worked with Phil and had all the technical worked out, which is so good. And I basically walked into a really good situation that I had no idea what we were walking into. So I'm real proud of you guys and thankful that today was actually it felt like a normal show. We might always want to do it like this.
I'd be fine with that. I'm in my sweatpants.
I know.
Especially when you've got that stinky breath every morning,
Yeah.
Wally. I don't want to be near you.
It's so good. I truly believe that at the end of this, there are going to be a lot of people that will make the case for couldn't I just work from home all the time?
Oh, yeah. And I hope so, too, that meetings will be less prominent.
Yes.
Because I think we're also seeing that there are a lot of meetings we go to, not us in general, but just everyone, that it's like, you know what? That was canceled. We didn't need it anyway.
Everything worked out.
Yes.
Fine.
It was an email.
Yes.
Yes. It was not a meeting. It was an email. This is to put it obviously, I guess, Captain Obvious, it is a weird time right now. And I've had to process a whole lot of stuff about how I feel about things, and because I'm more cavalier about stuff, and I've had to change my viewpoint of this and be responsible and give it the respect that it is demanding, honestly, because initially I thought, you know what, a couple weeks and everything will blow over. It's America. We'll get back to our normal lives. But that doesn't seem to be the case anytime soon, with more things. Like Becca, you were saying earlier that they're talking about this thing's not even hitting the apex yet for us.
They're saying that it could peak in 5 weeks. So we're still growing to the point where it's going to be at its worst. And I think the sooner that we can social distance, the faster that we can hopefully get rid of the spread of it. But right now there's a lot of people, especially, did you see the videos of the people on spring break last week that were packed on the beach? There were people packed on the beach being like, whatever, I don't care if I get it. All those people are going back home and probably silently taking the disease to their communities because they're asymptomatic. And then that makes someone else sick. So it'll be a while.
I was in Florida because we were bringing my father-in-law back, who's really sick, to live with us, basically. And we were there. And so my daughter and I, at one point, just for a break, because it was theoretically her spring break, and we originally were going to go to downtown Disney or to Disney for a day, and then they shut all that down. And then we're like, well, maybe we'll just go out and walk on the beach. Beaches are closed now. Like where we were, they closed down the beaches. And because I was thinking, okay, you're outside, you're still social distancing, you're not around people, but when the congestion of the beaches like Daytona and stuff like that, that was definitely more problematic. But so they're shutting stuff down. You got to stay up on the news. We'll try to keep you up on things as well during this whole time, but I don't want to get sucked into the fear of it, because if you spend your life watching the news and you even remotely are anxious, God help you.
Yeah, it'll mess you up.
Yeah. Have you stopped watching the news, Rock?
It kind of hit me like I got this I wouldn't say a panic attack, but I have that. I deal with anxiety, and I felt it last night as I thought about, I've got to get back into work. And it was kind of nice over the weekend to kind of know that I can quarantine myself and there's no chance of me getting it. But now I'm going back into it, and I hope that I don't get it. And I know with you, Wally, you tend to not wash your hands. You also open you touch your face a lot.
I do.
So
like right now,
I don't really know what you've been around.
I have an itch on my nose right now that I have to scratch. So I'll use the mic. No, but yeah, we even have windscreens that we're taking off and on that are our own personal windscreens. I want to customize mine. I feel like it's kind of drab.
Bedazzle it.
Yes, I want to bedazzle my windscreen. That's my project for today.
I'm also going to make your day, Wally. Are you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
We have so many people that are commenting on our live feed that you can see at Facebook. Just search Wally Show.
Nice.
They're saying that you have lost some weight.
Oh my gosh, you are so amazing. I don't know that I have, but thank you.
They said you look so skinny.
Oh, it's the cameras. It's these cameras. Because the other day, we watched a show called 90 Day Fiancé, and there's this guy, Big Ed, who has no neck at all. Like, it goes head, neck, or it goes head, shoulders. And, like, it's just, like, for him. And so I was standing next to him, and I realized, oh my gosh, when I do my chin like that.
Don't do that.
I'm Big Ed.
Don't do that.
Yeah, like that. I'm Big Ed. See, look. Big Ed right here. It's like, oh.
No neck.
So,
no
yeah,
neck.
Haven't fully lost all that weight yet, but thank you. And definitely feel free to comment. We'll do some stuff that's Facebook only here at the end of this, but let's go ahead and do some of the news that we missed here, Miss Becca.
Before we get to news, I do want to shout out a couple people who are on Facebook right now.
Oh, cool.
Tana, Caitlin, and Amy are all healthcare workers.
Nice.
And they checked in. And I think that those are, I told Wally earlier off air that those are kind of our frontline soldiers right now in this war against all of this. And we are really appreciative of everything that you're sacrificing. So thank you.
We had a hospice lady come out on Sunday because we just moved my father-in-law who's on hospice. We just moved him into our home. He can't go anywhere. Like, even if we wanted to put him in a 24-hour facility.
Yeah.
He can't. And so we are taking care of him. And this lady, Amy, oh my gosh, so great. So great for him, but for my wife, because my wife struggles through all of the guilt and all the stuff associated with, thinking she's not enough or doing enough or whatever. And she was so kind and so amazing. And so, yeah, the healthcare people, they are putting themselves at risk, too, for being around people, but they're doing it. And I absolutely, absolutely love and respect that.
And if you're watching us on Facebook now and you haven't listened to us on the radio, just a reminder, you can listen through your smart speaker.
Yeah.
Just say, Alexa, play Way FM, or through the Way FM app.
And you might even hear us talking about stuff, and you can call and be on the show when we're doing the actual live show, which is a lot of fun, too. So if you're listening through Alexa, listen for the phone number and be part of it, man. This is our quarantine version of our Aftercast. And I do think that it's going to get more and more. I think the order will go Betty probably next at home, then maybe Gavin. He and I are through a screen, like through a different room.
Yes, can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, he's in the other room right now.
Yeah. Just
hey,
me
Gavin.
in my own little studio.
We
with
put
a
him
bunch
in a
of
cage.
computers and
We had to run a microphone cable. We went old school. We ran a mic cable into that other room just so we could talk with Gavin. So Gavin is on the Aftercast with us as well. But
it's like the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And again, our audio sounds so much better than Kelly and Ryan. I love this. Ooh. This is great. See, I always knew we were better than Ryan. Not Kelly. She's amazing.
Back to news.
Back to news.
So everyone is making the best of their quarantine, and that's the case around the world. Last week, Betty and I talked about the people who would sing on their balconies. We saw that a lot in Italy, where everyone would come out and sing. There's a guy in France over the weekend that ran a full marathon on his 25-foot balcony, just back and forth the entire time. Yeah, he didn't have a treadmill, just back and forth on his balcony until he ran the full 26.2 miles.
I'd love to know how many laps that was on the balcony. It had to be amazing.
It took him 7 hours to finish it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
But then a couple in New York, because New York is now on full lockdown, and they're the U.S. epicenter of the disease. There's a couple that still wanted to get married, so they got married on the street while a guy officiated from a window 4 stories up.
Oh.
That's kind of crazy.
Cute. What a story to tell your kids later on.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you do what you got to do. You got to be creative, in this time. And, I'm finding myself having to go through processes like this too. And how do you still have some semblance of a normal life? You know, because I don't want to get consumed in the fear and anxiety of it. And I love that we still are in a business that's considered essential. Go figure. Who would have ever thought that? So we're allowed to leave and come to work, but that hopefully we can provide an escape for people, some truth for people, some hope for people through either just humor or through the music and things like that we play on the radio show, or like this, like a podcast, you know. And so hopefully that serves a purpose in the long run as well. What do you got for least of these, Lady Rock?
There's a lot more celebrities that are stepping up and saying that they tested positive for the coronavirus. One of those includes Andy Cohen.
Oh, okay.
He said that he wasn't feeling great, but then it turns out he got tested, and yes, he is. He's got it. Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, Harvey.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got corona. They put him in a maximum security prison in isolation. Yeah, this is the guy that got arrested for all of those allegations.
Oh, wait, no, that's horrible. I was thinking of Feinstein. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I was a totally different person. There's another
shouted yes.
Yes. No, there's a Feinstein, Harvey Feinstein, I think it is. He's an actor.
But Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yes, he has got corona.
Oh well, yeah. Oh boy, I probably wouldn't have done that story if I had known who that was.
Bon Jovi. His keyboard player has
David Bryan.
Okay, he's got corona.
Right now, David Bryan is the happiest person. He listens to podcasts.
You know who he is?
He's like, someone knows me.
Yep.
Instead of that stinking Bon Jovi.
Colton Underwood, the Bachelor from this past season.
I saw that.
Yeah, he said that it was kicking his booty.
And he's young too, and he said, yeah, it's kind of wearing him out.
Yeah, and then 62-year-old Prince Albert from Monaco.
Oh.
He was infected as well.
Wow. Has anyone heard how Tom Hanks is doing? I'm really concerned about that.
He's doing well. They're saying that he moved out of Australia. I think he's back in a hotel or he's back home.
Oh.
And him and Rita Wilson, his wife, are doing fantastic.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because, I mean, again, just because you get corona doesn't mean you get the full-blown, I'm on a respirator corona either.
Right.
It's just prevalent for older
know.
people. But, yeah, so it's interesting to see how people, survive this and who gets, like, of the celebrities that talk about it, like who got really sick and who kind of avoided some of that as well. Well, let's get on to birthdays, and then we will do some Facebook Live stuff.
Okay, so we don't have any from today, but we do have a few that got their birthday shout-outs in late.
Okay.
So let's do those. Landon to Elliot saying it's his best brother ever. P.S. Sorry for being late. Oh, Elliot, please forgive him.
Well, at least you did it.
Kayan. It's Cayenene, Kayan, to herself. She said she's been listening to the show for 10 years now.
Wow.
And she listens to it as she's baking for work.
Oh, no. I wonder what she bakes for work.
She's a baker.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And then Rebecca wants to wish her daughter, JC, a happy 14th birthday, saying she's a beautiful soul inside and out and brings sunshine everywhere she goes.
Oh, that's nice.
Something no one can say about you.
No. I had a conversation with my family about being a pessimist the other day, or like a skeptic, because my daughter was like, we just had something, I said something, she's like, man, you are just so skeptical, you're a skeptic. I'm like, what you see as skeptical, I see as the only voice of reason. Like everyone else is just blindly, obliviously happy about everything, and the skeptic is there to balance that out. Do you know how hard it is to be a skeptic when no one in your life is? It's exhausting. Because everyone makes you think like you're crazy when maybe I might actually be
crazy.
Right. No, I think I might be right on a lot of stuff.
But you're very unhealthy, and to live like that is just sad.
It's fine. It's good. If I had more people like this, we could wallow together and be great.
No, you wouldn't. The question is, she said that JC loves to sing. Her all-time favorite song, but she wants to know, what is that one song that you could belt out anytime, anywhere?
Oh, I've got the eye of the tiger.
It does not go like that.
The
Katy Perry version
one.
does.
Oh, that one. I
And
thought you
you're
were trying
gonna
to do the
hear
Journey
me
one or whatever. Chicago. Who does the Eye of the
Survivor.
Tiger? Survivor.
It's the thrill of the fight.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were trying to do, and I was like, it's a jazzed up version.
As you say it, that would have been the better choice, honestly, especially for being a dude. That would have been the much better choice. Anybody else got one?
I have one that's
You have to
recent.
sing it. You have to sing it.
I will. Well, let me do a little backstory
Thank
first.
you.
It's
Becca.
just the past couple of days. So I don't know if you saw Neil Diamond posted a parody of his own song.
Sweet Caroline.
Yes. So he did hands, washing hands.
Washing hands. Okay.
So I have been belting out sweet quarantine.
Nice. Dum, bum, bum. Everybody knows the bump, bump, bump part of that song. That's funny. And it's changing quarantine to quarantine. That
Yeah.
actually works for you because you say either instead of either.
Yeah. So maybe I'm saying it correctly.
It's on brand. What about you, Rock?
Mine would be Toto's Africa. It's gonna take a lot to get me away from you.
That's very good. And
Thank
it's
you.
funny because there's more notes than two in that, but you just squished them all together and did two notes the entire
Called
time.
talent, Wally.
Nice. Yeah, look into it.
How about Holy Spirit, or AKA
Oh, me.
Gavin.
So this isn't all the time. This is very recent. They just added Frozen 2 to Disney Plus.
I just so badly want to come.
And,
I know.
No,
Right
this is
now.
good for you, Wally,
Hold
because
on.
you were worried about your Eye of the Tiger singing Katy Perry.
Right.
That's
I
good
got
because
you.
he's making you look not as bad.
Let me just tell you this as a friend. The only thing keeping you safe right
Is a-
now is the 6-foot
it's a
rule.
wall.
It's social
Well-
distance.
Can I just point out that Wally chose Katy Perry, Betty chose Toto, I chose Neil Diamond,
Yeah.
and Gavin is choosing Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that say?
It says a lot.
Things don't look good for the guys on this show. Absolutely. Which horrible Frozen 2 song?
Into the unknown.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
That's been in my head all weekend.
My daughter wanted to see when we were in Florida, kind of hunkered down too, and she was like, "Let's watch Disney Plus." She loves Disney Plus still, and she's 21, and she was like, "It just makes me feel good." Like, okay, good. And she's like, "Let's watch Frozen 2." I'm like, "Absolutely not. Worst Disney movie ever."
Worst Frozen so far.
So without a doubt, like I'll watch Frozen 1 with you, but because this was when they just released it, I guess. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. And so every time she would mention anything from Frozen, I would noogie her like in her leg, because I'm like, I'm not putting up with this the entire time. And so she would sing it, and then I would chase her around the house. It was kind of fun. That's how we passed our quarantine.
Michael wants to know, Becca, can you show Hadley?
She's not up here right now. I'd have to take the computer through the house and then I'd lose my
Aw.
microphone. She was here earlier. She cuddled up to me the first hour of the show and literally was sleeping against me. I don't know if you guys saw her on the
I
screen.
did see her when you got up to use the restroom. She got off the couch,
Yeah.
but then she just showed us her hiney. So, like, thanks.
My husband Joey's working from home across the hall, and I think she's getting over having us home all the time because
Yeah.
she'll cuddle up to us for a little bit and then be like, "Okay, this is my alone time."
Yeah,
I
can
need
you
my
guys
space."
leave, please? I need my time.
I stayed home all day Saturday and Sunday, and Clementine, I realized how much she sleeps. I don't even know how it's possible, but cats can sleep.
Oh, yeah.
For there's 24 hours in a day, she probably sleeps 20.
And then she'll wake up, like your cat will wake up and be like, "Yeah, this is great." And then 5 seconds later,
Yeah.
they can sleep like the drop
Oh,
of a
yeah.
hat.
Exactly.
I will say most days when I leave for work, there are even times when my dog would be standing in front of the door saying, "I don't want you to leave." And she was sleeping on the couch when I left this morning. And when I left, she did not
Move.
acknowledge
Yeah.
me at all.
Oh, Hadley made it.
I found the dog,
Yay,
guys.
Hadley.
Oh, so cute.
That's funny.
Hi,
I was gonna have her say something. This is where my brain is going.
Yeah.
on quarantine.
Yeah, this is where you've lost
do
your
you want to say
mind.
hi? Let me move the microphone.
Did you hear about the dog that they took it to the vet because they thought something was wrong with it, and its tail was sprained because it had wagged it for so long?
Oh, my God.
Because all of his people were there at home.
Oh, my
And
God.
they're like, nothing's wrong. He just sprained his tail
That's
from
so
wagging
funny.
too much.
That's true love.
So sad.
That is
But
true
cute.
love. All right, you want to take a couple comments from the Facebook Live? We
People,
can do that. before we
Monica
go.
is saying Hadley is so pretty.
She is so pretty.
Said, listen to Neil Diamond while I'm cleaning my house. Nice, Nina.
I am curious, who's on quarantine, like full on, lockdown, and kind of like what
Yes.
you're doing to pass that time.
Somebody's saying Hamilton is their go-to
Oh,
song.
nice.
Oh yeah, not throwing away my shot.
Usually the crazy. Usually the crazy ones are right. I think that was
Yes,
about you.
that was about being a cynic. Yes, thank you. You know, the funny thing is too. We'll probably talk about this on the show as well, tomorrow. But all the preppers, the doomsday preppers, are like, You're welcome. I told you this was going to happen. Oh, you're not getting any of my food from my bunker, but I told you that this was going to happen.
This is the biggest I told you so that they're probably going to have.
Oh yeah, they won't
in this
get
lifetime.
one. Yeah, short of a nuclear war, they're
Sure.
not going to get another one of these. But like they get this.
Charlotte and Becky are celebrating their birthdays. Happy birthday to both of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that are saying like they're listening from home because they can now because they're not working. Like they're working from home, but
that's
they're able
nice.
now to listen to live.
That's kind of crazy too. Like if our audience goes up because now people that would normally be at work are working at home and they're not restricted to being able to listen to something else while they work. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we had a really good amount of calls in today.
Who's speaking?
I'm surprised.
Who is that?
It's the disenfranchised voice. Yeah, I'm the only one that can see Gavin too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kinda, Gavin's like my imaginary friend.
Yep.
I'm glad you can see me.
Oh, someone said I work in a funeral home, so we can't really not work.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, there are those jobs that when you think about it, it's like even Walmart. Like if you're in Walmart or Kroger, you hear them advertising for hiring. And there were signs like they're like while everybody else is shrinking down and having to, they're like, we're actually hiring people because there's going to be more demand. I was able to because I came home from Florida to nothing in the house because I'd been kind of living like a bachelor for like 8 weeks while my wife was taking care of her father. And I didn't have a ton of extra food for the week or anything like that. I kind of was doing it daily. And we came home, and I had to go out and shop. And when I went to Walmart, there was no meat. The fish, ironically, if you like fish seems to always be available.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the last choice of anything. And
I've seen too where there's like a trend going around where it's like people go to grocery stores and they see what foods have not been eaten, and it's kind of like no matter what, we're not this bad off.
Yeah.
And like Jimmy Fallon did something kind of like that where there was like prune flavored butter or
Ew.
something like that. It's like we're not that bad off yet because it's all still
yeah,
there.
what's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I did talk to a guy at Kroger. I was able to go out the next morning early, and I got enough. And I didn't hoard because I'm that bothers me when people do that. I took what we needed, for a week, and then like okay, hopefully by next week, go out again. But he was like, yeah, they were saying like in the mornings typically are the best time. And he said that they've been seeing the stuff lasting longer, so maybe people aren't hoarding quite as much now.
They're
at least where
finally
we are.
calming down a little bit.
Yeah.
The people I feel the worst for are the people who have big families.
Yeah.
Like I know I have a friend who has 4 kids, and she said that her grocery store has restrictions on how much meat she can buy. She's like,
Right.
a pound of meat is not enough for my family. Like I have to get more to feed my 3 teenage boys.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's the other hard part of this is because people are panic buying. It's the people who actually legitimately always buy these quantities aren't able to do the same meals they would normally.
I was at a Publix in Florida, and the lady gave me a nice compliment because I went through the 10 items or less lane. Everyone else has their baskets filled with just, gobs and gobs of food and toilet paper and everything like that. And I had 3 donuts and a bagel. And she's like,
The necessities.
yeah, she's like, well, I can see you're not hoarding or stocking up.
Have you guys seen weird things at the grocery store? When I went shopping the other day, there was a woman who had 5 gallons of bleach.
Oh.
I'm like, what are you doing
I
with
saw that
What are
too,
you
and
using?
it was like a woman that had like 8 cases of what are those little juice boxes that you squeeze?
Oh, Capri Sun,
Sun.
yeah.
Oh,
8 boxes
Yeah.
full.
it's
Yeah.
like, are you planning
Those
a
go
crime?
quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening here.
I guess to clean everything in your house. One thing that was weird, my father-in-law is on oxygen, and so they have a little container that will run water through it that keeps the moisture in your nose, but it has to be distilled water. Why? I don't know. So in all the panic, everybody getting water for no reason, because guess what? You can turn on your tap. Like, you don't need bottled water to survive this. It's not a natural disaster. And so I was like, dadgummit, distilled water, gone everywhere. I couldn't believe it. I'd been looking for 3 weeks for like distilled water and finally found some the other day. It's just the most bizarre thing. And then I think it might have been Jason Gray, musician. I want to see him. I can't remember. It was in a Facebook feed. I'm sorry, a Insta feed where he was like, I wonder what like, why am I concerned, or what do I not know that like all the parsley flakes were gone? And he's like, what do I not know? This concerns me that I should be getting parsley flakes and I have none. Oh, man. Well, all right. That's going to do it for your Aftercast and your Facebook Live today. We'll be doing Aftercast all week in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what they're going to fully look like here, but we're here doing this and keeping you company. And again, remember, we're all in this together. If High School Musical and taught us nothing, we might do another song thing on that. All right, that's going to do it. And as always, thanks so much for being a potty.